There's a lot of buzz right now in the global development community about entrepreneurs, about social entrepreneurship, and about what sort of impact they might have on global development and achieving whatever, future sustainable development goals we set. So I really wanted to ask you, what is the potential of social entrepreneurship? What's needed to sort of get these entrepreneurs to a place where they can scale, where they can actually have a demonstrable impact?
Well, so one way I like to think about this is if you look at ILO data recently, they've come out with a report that talks about the need for 600 million new jobs to be created in emerging markets to maintain the level of social stability we have now. Well, it's not exactly a highly socially stable world out there. And we agree with this assessment that the world needs jobs. And we ask, where are they going to come from? And our answer to that is that in large part, they need to come from small and growing businesses in emerging markets. We need to find a way to help those businesses that are not micro, but that are small and led by growth-oriented managers who actually intend to grow. And so there are millions of entrepreneurs that you can find in emerging markets, but most of them suffer from a series of challenges that inhibit the growth of their businesses. And I would say number one, to get to your point, is talent. That's not what most people say, but for us, when we ask our members and they talk to their investees and grantees and their clients, the biggest problem for most of these businesses is finding middle and upper management to help them grow. It's one thing to have a great entrepreneur, and those are everywhere. It's another thing to build a management team which allows you to grow a company. And finding that meat of a company is really hard to do in emerging markets. So there's a real effort up front that Andy and others are participating in to try to build out the management capability of emerging market leaders. Another big challenge is access to markets. You might have a great team, but that great team doesn't either understand the market opportunities, or in many cases they're actually prohibited from taking advantage of market opportunities because of government regulation, because of lack of infrastructure, because of laws and regulations that prohibit that. And then finally is lack of capital. Even if you have a great team and you have a great strategy, you understand your customers, you know how to get to them, you don't have the money to grow the company. And so this is a well-known challenge in emerging markets. It's not the lack of money, because money actually is everywhere, and as we know in today's world, it can flow anywhere. The challenge, though, is creating the right vehicles that understand and appreciate the risks that investors are taking and also can support the entrepreneur.
Are there certain sectors that you think can most benefit from these sort of entrepreneurial, market-based solutions?
Yeah, I mean, look, just to be clear, entrepreneurship isn't the answer to everything, but there are certain sectors, like housing, for example, where there are incredible opportunities to fill the need that exists in places like India, particularly urban areas where you can build highly dense properties, and you can do so at costs which are affordable for most of the people in the country. Real private sector opportunities there. The same is true for sort of water and energy provision, where particularly in rural areas, private sector solutions where they are creating water filtration systems or where they're doing off-grid solar electric, you have opportunities to both support a private sector firm, but more importantly to provide a service to a poor person in a much more cost-effective way, in a way which is actually going to be of higher quality.